Hello, welcome to today's Talk of the Town. I'm Sandy Benson. Our first guest, Ed Meyerink, pharmacist with Walgreens Pharmacy, a WHHI-TV news partner, joins the show today to speak about a topic that will be a concern as summer quickly approaches in the Low Country. Ed, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Good morning.
Well, with the previous weather, it almost doesn't, I'm not sure that we're going to see a whole lot of sunshine very soon, but I certainly hope we do.
I'm hoping we do too. I'm going to build an ark any day.
Yeah, exactly. So sunscreen, very, very important, especially if women are wearing certain, I would imagine, a lot of people now take care of their face with different cosmetics, with Retin-A, things like that, and just overall, sunscreen's extremely important.
Sunscreen is extremely important, especially here in the Low Country. People don't realize that even on a good cloudy day, UVA and UVB rays are very, very high, no matter when we look. People don't realize the importance and usually pick an oil when they go out or don't put anything on at all. It's important that whenever we go out, it's a good idea to start with an SPF sunscreen of at least 15. It's also appropriate to choose something that's appropriate for your activity. If you're going out to play golf, water resistant. If you're going to the beach, maybe a waterproof. But it's always important to have at least a minimum of SPF 15 when you go out.
They say UVA and UV, it's UVA
and UVB.
UVB, and so you have to cover both of those, correct?
That is correct. You're looking for a good spectrum. Traditionally, if we looked at sunscreens, the UVA is what we've always talked about when it comes to SPF. Right now there's UVB, and on the new measurements for sunscreens, you'll actually see UVA and UVB on the bottles. And it's important to get a bottle that works good with both UVA and UVB protection.
Okay, good. All right, so you said you usually start with 15, but those people who are maybe fair-skinned or have taking a lot of people are on medications that make their skin extremely sensitive to the sunlight as well.
Correct.
Should they be wearing a higher SPF, and does it matter how high you go? Is that really a big deal?
Yes, it does. We'll start with SPF. SPF is sun protection factor. Traditionally, lotions run from, or even sprays, run from a 1% to 100%. Anything under 15 is really non-effective. The higher the sunblock, the higher protection factor you're going to have. If you take your SPF, and we'll do example SPF of 30, if we have an SPF of 30 and multiply that number by 10, we have a good 300 minutes or about 5 hours of sun exposure.
Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that.
It doesn't mean that you're going to get 5 hours on that one application. You need to constantly reapply no matter what happens, at least every 2 hours if you're just putting sunscreen on. If you're at the beach, you'll have to reapply every time you get out of the pool and rub a towel against you because you're pulling off the suntan lotion. I believe anybody who's very fair-skinned, and a lot of our tourists here are, they don't realize how important it is to wear sunscreen. If you're super fair-skinned and very light complexion, 50 or 100 block. Anything after 100 isn't really going to do any good, but 100 block would offer great protection for somebody who's very fair-skinned.
So the lip balms that they have with SPF, that's probably a great idea too.
Excellent. That's a very good point, and I was going to touch on that in a minute, because people don't realize that, yes, I'm putting sunscreen everywhere except on my lips. When you're sitting there in the sun, your lips are exposed, to sun, and you get that UVA, UVB. So any of the, the copper tone or any of the chapstick products that do have an SPF of 15 or higher is a great idea.
So when you go into a Walgreens, and I know you have an array of different choices for sunscreens, how do you know where to go? I mean, you have certain names, certain brands, generics. What's the best choices?
The best choices you're going to have to make by yourself.
Okay.
We offer so many, from NOAD to Ocean Potion, Hawaiian Tropic. Even Walgreens makes their own generic alternatives. You want to get a sunscreen that's specific for you. If you're going to sit around the porch and read in the afternoon, you don't need a beach-going sunblock, or you don't need an activity sunblock. If you're going out to play sports, you want to get a specific one that's sports-related. So if you sweat, it's not going to run off. So that's where you really have to decide is what your activity is going to be when you're buying it. There's not really any one brand. It's all personal preference when it comes to picking a suntan lotion.
And at Walgreens, they're located you know, on the island, off the island. I don't think you can hit a corner and there's not a Walgreens.
Just about. We have 6 stores, and we're all conveniently located in the Low Country. We have 2 on the island, one in the north end in the Barnes & Noble Plaza. I also have another one in the Palmetto Bay, just off the Seapine Circle. We have a 24-hour store on Simmonsville and Bluffton. I have a store in Okatee right outside of the Sun City back gate, and we have 2 stores in Beaufort.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank
You're
you for great
very
information.
welcome.
And we'll be right back with Talk of the Town.